Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sue and I'm here to help you start and grow your dog walking and pet sitting business. And today we will talk about should you change your brand name just like Facebook did. So we will dive into this topic today in this video. So what Facebook actually did here, it didn't change the name of the social media platform or the Facebook app that you're actually using. It changed the name of its parent company. Facebook Inc., which is being renamed into Meta, owns WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Oculus VR, Beluga, and Onavo. When Facebook incorporated in May 2012, then it was still a really good idea to actually name its company Facebook because it was a very well-known and popular social media platform at that time. Let's talk about the new name Meta. Meta actually means beyond, and it's part of the Metaverse. Metaverse means beyond universe. And Zuckerberg actually has already thought about that Metaverse a few years back and already has a whole vision in his head on how it's going to look like and already planned it out extensively. To explain the Metaverse to you, I'm actually going to use Zuckerberg's own words. He said it will be even more immersive and embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. The defining quality of the Metaverse will be a feeling of presence, like you're right there with another person or in another place. He goes on further to say you will be able to teleport instantly as a hologram, to be at the office without a commute, at a concert with friends, or in your parents' living room to catch up, and so on. In layman's term, you will wear VR goggles in order to see this artificial world, and then you'll probably also wear some clothes where you'll be able to receive some sensory input and also a device where you can have some sensory output for another person. The name change to Meta definitely makes sense because he's going towards a whole nother customer experience, and Facebook Inc. does not really describe it anymore what he is really envisioning with Metaverse. On the other hand, this name change happens now amid the leaked internal documents from a whistleblower, which also form a bunch of allegations against Facebook, which it has to answer in front of Congress. These allegations include, but are not limited to, how Facebook's Instagram services harms the developing psyches of young people, how the company views children as just another market to conquer, how it encourages conspiracy theories and hateful misinformation, and how it helped to fuel the genocide in Myanmar. This is why big companies like Fast Company are asking, is the move to a name change, to a brand name change, really just a move to circumvent responsibility? What they're actually saying Facebook all is doing with the brand name change is to prioritize the investor audience instead of alleviating the customer concerns. It remains to be seen if Facebook actually had some good intentions and if the brand name change was a good move for Facebook and now Meta. But now I want to talk about how, if you want to change your brand name, if it's a good idea, when you should do it and how you should do it. You want to make sure that a brand name best positions your brand to the target audience. When is it actually a good idea to change your name? When your current brand name is known for something other than what you're building next. I'm going to go into the very extreme here with my example, but I want to make it clear what I really mean by that. If your name right now is cheap pet services, but you actually want to offer premium pet services, in that case, you should change your name, which then in turn, it can give you exposure to attract new customers. Another good reason would be you're entering a new market or changing up your products and services. For example, you offer dog walking for all these years, but now you've actually built a dog boarding place and now you have to change your name in order to reflect that new kind of change in the market. Another reason would be if people mistake your company with another company name, with a similar name or a similar logo. Let's go into the extreme again. Let's say there's a Giovanni's plumbing company and you called your dog walking service Giovanni's, just Giovanni's. And then people really don't know, okay, is Giovanni's connected to Giovanni's Plumbing or is it an entire different company? And another good reason would be general brand confusion. When you have decided you want to change your brand name, there are some risk factors that are included with that. One risk factor is, of course, you're so set on changing your name because your old name doesn't really feel like it aligns with your brand vision, but then you can come up with a name. Or you come up with a name that really just causes confusion and that maybe sound really, really good in your head, but it really doesn't sound good for anybody else. So in that case, it might actually be better to stick with your old name. Another risk factor is that your staff actually hates your name, and there's a good approach to introduce your staff properly to your brand name, and I will talk about this shortly. And of course also that the general public or your family or your friends actually really hate the name and they associate it with something completely different than you do. So it's definitely very wise to do some extensive research before you change the name. Or customers think you have actually sold your company. If you didn't communicate it with your customers properly, they might think your old company has nothing to do with the new company and they might not actually return. Another risk factor is that people cannot find you anymore because you didn't do your due diligence in regards to Google, in regards to your name. When people do a certain search, let's say for a certain dog walking, and somebody else comes up instead of your name. And last but not least, you might actually get sued if you infringe on somebody's intellectual property right. So make sure that your name doesn't really match up or is close to any other brand name in your area or country. Now, if you have decided that a brand name change is the right way for you to go, then go ahead, but there are certain steps that you should definitely follow. First of all, in the legal department, it really starts with a Google search to really check if somebody else already is using a name or a name to yours, and also check your country's trademark database. Second, your online presence, make sure that your name is actually available as a .com name. Don't get rid of your old domain name, rather link your old domain name to your new domain name. Add a banner to the top of your website notifying people, customers that reach your website that this is still the same business but with a new name. And also write a blog post explaining the why and that you did it, and then also include the link within the banner. And in regards to employees, people really hate change, so make sure that you take them seriously and that they're also on board with you. Let them know of why did you change the name? Was the name too descriptive? Was it too hard to spell? Was it too hard to read? You want to become a premium brand, and so on. When you notify them of the brand name change, make sure that you radiate confidence and excitement, but also have some empathy. So let them know that you have thoroughly thought about it, you had multiple options, and that was the best option you could come up with, but also ask them to give it a chance because brand names build up meaning and association slowly over time. In regards to your clients, notify them a few days ahead via your major communication channels. Explain to them also why you changed the name, and if you have a physical retail store, let your clients know over the course of a few weeks ahead of time and really talk to them directly. Maybe also put some signage within the store explaining that the name will change, but the business will still remain the same. In general, in business and also personal relationships, and especially with this topic, lack of communication will lead to confusion and anger, so make sure that you just communicate and communicate. And then you should also make sure to change your email addresses for yourself and for your staff, change in login information for your clients, for your employees, the portal information, and also change your email signature. I hope this video gave you some good insight into the Facebook brand name change and also some insight into what you should think about if you want to change your brand name. So if you liked the video, make sure to actually like the video and hit subscribe if you want to hear more from me, and I will see you next week. Bye.